India may bail out Russia by taking up an offer to buy crude oil and other commodities at a discount despite Western attempts to isolate Moscow through sanctions. India, which imports 80% of its oil needs, usually buys only about 2 to 3% from Russia. But with oil prices up 40% so far this year, the government is looking at increasing this if it can help reduce its rising energy bill. Russia is offering oil and other commodities at a heavy discount. We will be happy to take that, an Indian government official said, declining to elaborate on how much oil was on offer and what the discount was. The official added that such trade required preparatory work including transportation, insurance cover and getting the right blend of crude, but once that was done India would take Russia up on its offer. India is the latest country to offer a sanction-busting lifeline as the Russian wage war enters its third week after China lifted meat import restrictions at the end of February. Imports have been restricted amid concerns over Russia's measures to prevent plant diseases, particularly in agricultural crops. Neither Beijing nor New Delhi have condemned the invasion in Ukraine and both abstained from a vote at the United Nations calling out Russian aggression last month. Both governments are walking a diplomatic tightrope in order to preserve their vital trade links with Russia, which is now facing serious economic woes after being targeted by sanctions. U.S. officials have said in recent weeks they would like India to distance itself from Russia as much as possible, while recognizing its heavy reliance on Moscow for everything from arms and ammunition to missiles and fighter jets. One person within India's security apparatus said the West understood India's position, given that it needs to keep its armed forces well supplied amid simmering territorial disputes with China. Reuters has reported that Indian officials are trying to set up a repeatable mechanism with Russia to continue bilateral trade. Russia has urged what it describes as friendly nations to maintain trade and investment ties. Apart from oil, India is also looking for cheaper fertilizer from Russia and its ally Belarus, according to one of the officials. Indian officials said they could not suddenly replace Russia with other suppliers, particularly in the defense sector. India's dependence on Russia for its military hardware still runs as high as 60%, despite a significant reduction over the last decade. U.S. officials have declined to say if India would be sanctioned should Russia send S-400 missile systems as part of a $5.5 billion deal signed in 2018 for 5 of them. Initial supplies of the system started late last year despite the U.S. law aimed at deterring countries from buying Russian military hardware. U.S. Assistant Secretary of Defense for Indo-Pacific Security Affairs, told the U.S. Congress hearing last week that India was diversifying its defense suppliers. We recognize that India has a complicated history and relationship with Russia. The majority of the weapons that they buy are from the Russians, he said. The good news is that they are in a multi-year process of diversifying their arms purchases away from Russia. That's going to take some time. fully committed to doing that, including the indigenization of their own defense industry, and that's something we should support. British Foreign Minister Liz Truss also said last week that London should pursue closer economic and defense ties with India to help it reduce its reliance on Russia. Since 2011, New Delhi has cut its defense imports from Russia by 53%. Bala Venkateshwarma, a former Indian ambassador to Russia, said New Delhi should not be expected to pay a price for a standoff between global powers. This is not a fight we have created, he told an online seminar on Monday. It comes days after Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky asked U.S. President Joe Biden to cut Russia off from international waters during their Friday phone call. His requests included more sanctions on Crimea and further blocking Russia out of global trade. People familiar with the call told CNN.